Well, we're back. We're just outside of Alpine, Arizona, and it's about 8,000 feet elevation. That's where we're at right now. So I'd chosen 4 possible camping spots. Every single one of them undoable. The U.S. Forest Service has closed all dispersed camping. So you are forced to go to their campgrounds. And I mean, the reason they did it was because of fire alert. Haven't had rain up here in 2 months. And even when they did, it wasn't enough to keep everything from going up. And they're worried about a major forest fire. So I get it. What the problem is, then not everyone can recreate out here. So I'm going to go a little further north. Also too, I noticed that I'd run through a swarm of bees earlier. I didn't get stung, but they pelted the bike. And now whenever I come to a stop, like I rode up this dirt road a little bit, and every time I come to a stop, bees would start swarming the bike. So that's not fun. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that you can only camp at the campgrounds, and of course now they're full because nobody can camp anywhere else. So I'm struggling here to find a place to camp out. But I have a couple of backups closer to Springerville, and I did get to Alpine earlier than I thought I would. So I'm going to keep bumping up the Devil's Highway and get up closer to Springerville, and I have a couple of options there when it comes to camping. There's a spot I'd pinned out for AZ Desert Dog a while back, just south of town, and back off on some Forest Service property. Again, I didn't even bring cigars with me because I know that there's a fire restriction out. So it's you know, I'm not looking to start a fire, but I'm guessing what they have to do is they have to restrict the dispersed camping because they can't police it as well as they can the designated campgrounds. Meaning they can't trust people to go out there and not have fires. And I mean, just because you light a fire doesn't mean you're going to set a forest fire. But it's the rules for a reason, and you know that it's just so dry right now and windy. I mean, if there wasn't a fire restriction on right now, I probably wouldn't want to start one anyway. There's the little Colorado River. And plans change again. Went up to Springerville, picked up some things that I needed. And got a little something to eat. Got a little something to bring with me. And now I'm looking for a campsite. So because they closed all the campsites in Alpine for fear of wildfires and the dispersed camping, I'm stuck looking for a place to go. Now, I could go to one of the campgrounds, but most of the ones right around Alpine are pretty full. And I'd rather not sleep in a campground, so I could always fall back to that. Or, you know, just crash in a cheap hotel, which is not what I had in mind. But one last shot here. I've got 2 chances. One is I can come and do this, and I was planning on heading out to Big Lake tomorrow morning anyway, but I figured maybe go ahead and get a jump on that tonight and see what it looks like. Get up here. Some of the folks in town were saying that they believe there's still dispersed camping. There's a fire ban still, but there is still dispersed camping around north of Big Lake up near Mexican Hat. So we're going to give that a shot. You know, if it proves out then it goes to show you, stopping and talking to the locals sometimes can save you a little bit of aggravation. You see, like that right there, that's obviously a dispersed camping site, and it didn't have any roadblock signs on it like all the ones down in Alpine did, so this is encouraging. They just put up the little yellow barricades and then had a sign on there that says non-use. No use for anything other than hiking. Look at there's another one. Oh, this is very encouraging, because that would have, again, it would have had a sign on it over in Alpine, and they all had signs on them said that do not enter, do not use, closed for fire safety. And maybe it's because of the proximity of those homes, of the homes around Alpine, or maybe it's because this area's already been burned. Most of the trees you see are survivors from the burn of 2011, I think it was. So I'm looking for one of the U.S. Forest Service routes. I think it's 261B. It's supposed to be into one of these bends, but it's supposed to be before I hit Mexican Hat, so I may have already passed it while I was blabbing to y'all. Could that have been it? I doubt it. Looking for 261 Bravo. I do like this climbing elevation though. We're getting back up towards 8,000 feet again, which means it'll be hard to boil water. Not the sort of rolling boil that everyone expects. Caution, watch for widowmakers. This is something like I was thinking of. Yeah. All right. I think we may have found our spot. Oh, there's another one over there. All right, let's go see what it looks like. Guess it was a little lumpier there than I thought. What do we got over here? And these aren't wildcat spots. These look like there's definitely no deadfall here. I gotta say, I like that first one better. Ooh, there's tree stumps there. Careful now. Like it. This is going to be it, fellas. Well, gang, looks like it paid off. I took the advice of the locals, and they told me that if you head down towards Big Lake, which I was going to do tomorrow morning anyway, that we'd find ourselves some still dispersed camping. For those of you who don't know what dispersed camping is, on federal lands, you get to camp for free basically, because you don't have any amenities. You don't have a bathroom, you don't have a built-in barbecue pit, you don't have a place to throw your garbage afterwards. You pack it in and pack it out. Unfortunately, I can see a lot of people don't always do that, and I really wish I could make a fire tonight, because this is the perfect place to produce a nice bushcraft video that would just, man, it would just be awesome to be able to put it together. But here's where I'm going to house for the night. My helmet's already on the tree, but I plan to put my tent right here between these two trees. I looked up. There's a couple older branches on this one, but there's no widowmakers. There were signs up when I was riding in from the burn in 2011, the bad burn that they had in 2011. It came right through this area. I'll pan over here so you can see. Yeah, that whole hill over there. That whole hill got burned bad. So the wildfire tore right through here, and as a result, it thinned a lot of the trees out here. A lot of them have broken. A lot of them are standing dead. So they put up a warning that says, hey, before you recreate, look up. Make sure you're not standing underneath a widowmaker. And I won't be. This will be my area of choice. You gotta love it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set up camp. I'll put up a couple of static cameras so y'all can watch. And if you're into that sort of thing, that's great. If not, then you can go ahead and skip to the end of the video, or maybe skip this video, because I'm not sure. I may put the camping video in just one video of its own. Anyhow, I'll talk to y'all soon. I think I hear something. There you go. That's as close to a rolling boil as you're going to get at this elevation. Sweet. Yeah, that sun's getting me good right now. But I'm alright with it. It's going down behind those trees there. Going to be gone soon, and I feel like it's already pretty cool out here. It's probably, I don't know, about 75 degrees, and being 75 degrees out here right now, the temperatures are probably going to drop below 50, well below 50 tonight. So without a fire, I'm hoping that the gear I brought with me does the right job. I put the rain fly on to help insulate it, and then I've got an extra wool blanket if it turns out that the sleeping bag just isn't cutting it. I'm a pretty warm-bodied guy at any rate, and I'm not too worried about it. Did you look at this? I got the forest all to myself. So I'm sitting here enjoying my Bengal spiced coffee now. Figures here comes the wind. Feeling much better. So today I rode the Devil's Highway, and I can tell you that after 200 miles of constant twists and turns, and those were some sharp turns, but I'm just telling you, after 200 miles of it, it was pretty tiring. You feel kind of wrung out. You really do. And I was happy to finally find a camp, and I'm happy to just sit here right now, to tell you the truth. I've either been on my feet or on that bike all day, and this feels pretty relaxing right now. I gotta tell you, to have my feet out of those boots. I just got them last week, and this is their first real break-in. They're pretty good. They feel pretty comfortable, but it's nice to be out of them for a while, you know. Anyway, if you are a motorcycle camper and you're watching this video, if you do moto camping, do me a favor and share your channel's link or tell us about it in the comments below. I love watching motorcycle campers. There just doesn't seem to be enough of them. Right now, YouTube is inundated with bushcrafters, which I like watching too. And they're inundated with people riding their motorcycles off-road, which I also enjoy watching and a little bit of doing. But I just hardly ever see someone moto camping. That wind's got to be in your mic. I know Friday's the Bomb does it, and I like his videos. He's got a different style. He is a very cool dude, but there just aren't enough people doing it, and I love watching those kinds of videos. So if you're watching this video and you like to travel and go moto camping on your motorcycle, and it's something you do often, you got videos on your channel, please tell me about it and let me know. Anyway, if again, if you're a camper and you got some hacks you'd like to share with me, I'd love to hear it. If you're a motorcycle camper and you got stuff on your channel to show people, tell me about it in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this kind of a vlog where I wasn't really moto vlogging, I did to get here, but as part of the bigger series, this one camping trip could be cut out and just used as a camping experience. I've not really done that with my camping experiences before. I throw up a time-lapse camera, close out the video, and call it good. But I've kind of been inspired by a lot of the campers I've been watching. Friday's the Bomb is one of them. There are others. There's I like watching Joe Robinette, and he's getting kind of big now. And a couple of others that like to do like bushcraft camping. Alex Wright, he does motorcycle camping, but he doesn't really do moto vlogging necessarily. And he only pops up once a year after he's gone and done a trip. So I like watching his because he puts his little Suzuki V-Strom 650s to work. Anyway, I will talk to you soon, and we'll see how the night progresses. Well, gang, you may not be able to tell by how bright it is on camera, but this is it. Sun's going down. I think I'm just gonna sit out here, maybe have another cup of tea, and I swear to God, as soon as I turn the camera on, the wind picks up. And get some rest. It's really nice out right now. It's about 70 degrees, so I know it's going to get chillier than I maybe thought it was going to, but that's all right. Anyhow, I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, everyone. I just getting up. It's right around 5 a.m. I could tell because the sun's not quite up yet, and this time of year, that's the time the sun comes up, is a little after 5. This is my normal bed, my own normal rise time. I went to bed at my normal bedtime around 8:30. I didn't sleep the whole night through. Every once in a while, I had to move because, you know, my arms in this tent, they're right up against the sides. If I do anything other than just laying flat on my back or right on my side, the
the forest was quiet last night. I mean, like crazy quiet. When you listen right now, you can hear some of the wind. That I was already tuned to. But until the birds started singing, there was no noise at all. None. It was amazing. I mean, it's just so quiet. No critters scurrying around. And I have a feeling it's because this was a burn area. This is one of those areas that got burned up really bad in 2011. And these tall trees, the ones that are left, are the only ones that are still standing, obviously. And, I don't know if that has something to do with it, that it burned up so many of the resources for the smaller critters. I don't know. But, man, it was quiet. It was so quiet. Oh, I would have struggled at a campground. Somebody screaming kids, barking dogs, generators, people playing music all night long. Yeah, dispersed camping is best. Anyway, I got to dig my warm socks out from under my pillow and start getting, I got to get some hot liquids in me first, do some hygiene, brush my teeth, clean myself up a little bit, and then start packing everything up to go. I got a long ride home. I was going to do some stuff on the way home, visit some historic sites, but I got to tell you, I'm concerned about it being 106 degrees when I get home, and I really don't want to be on the bike when it's 106 degrees. So I think I'm going to just hit the road and head straight home, but I'll pack up here in just a little bit. I'll get back with you folks. Morning, gang. I got my hot tea started. And it's funny, all I had was hot water in that cup last night. In that cooking pot, all I had was water. That was it, some hot water. And I came out to pour some water in it. I'd left the lid on it. I came out to pour some water in it, and ants, big black ants, were all up inside of it. I couldn't believe it. There's like 10 of them in there. So I dumped them out as best I could, and then turned on some heat, and then they really got out. And then I rinsed it out and filled it up with water to cook again. But it was just weird. Just to make sure, nothing there. Oh wow, that just caught my eye. Take a look at that. Try to give the camera a chance to adjust. Oh, I wish it would. Right? Let's do this. Trying to change the point of focus. We'll look down here at the ground, or look way up at the sky. Now, GoPro's great for many things, but I'm afraid it's just not going to capture how pink the horizon is over there right now. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Anyway, I'm going to have my hot tea. You can hear the water start to boil. And then I'm going to film the breakdown and then back on the road. So I'll catch you guys soon. Well, everybody, I meant to show more of me packing out, but I'm very quiet right now. While I was packing up, I noticed all the birds had stopped chirping, and it got eerily quiet in here. And so I stopped rustling for a minute, and you can maybe hear it now. I gotta go. I can't even give my bike a chance to warm up. I'm just gonna have to jump on it and go. Bees, lots of them to the point that the buzzing and thronging is loud and very proud.
Very scary. Then I started paying attention, and I noticed that every time I made some noise, I could hear this. I could hear this mass of bees. Now my ignition isn't going to work, right? It helps if I get the key in all the way. I could hear them speed up. So if I made any noise, it'd be like, and as soon as I crinkled the tarp while folding it up, like a weed eater. So I had to be very quick and very quiet. And now there's getting out of here. And I already know that bees don't like my tiger. So sorry about that. Wait for that oil pressure light to go. I have to remember I'm on dirt and gravel. But yes, I felt the desperate need to get out of here. I wasn't going to dink with any more cameras. I packed everything as quickly as I could. Far less efficient than I normally would like. Because I had to get out of there. It's very scary. There's lots of stuff I didn't do I normally do. I didn't drink enough water before getting back on the bike, but I figure if I can just get out of here without wrecking, then I can stop somewhere where there's not throngs of bees and take care of myself a little better. Anyway, I got my trash rudely tied to the back of my bike, so I can throw that out at my first convenience. It was very nerve-wracking, very, very nerve-wracking. So I'm gonna let you guys go for a little bit until I make it off this dirt. That way I can focus. Okay. Whew. Wow. I ain't gonna lie. That was a little bit scary. My heart was racing, and like I said, I knew they were responding to sound because every time I would crinkle something or bang something, snap one of the lids shut, they would change their pace. So, yeah, I'm glad to be out of there. I'm going to get closer to Big Lake. And then, could you imagine how pretty this place was when, before the fire? Wow. So I'm going to get out to Big Lake, stop, sort my things out a little bit better. I'm down to my last liter of water, so yeah, I got to get to a convenience store. I've got plenty of gas, almost enough to get home. But I need to water up and settle down a little bit. I had a really good morning up until then. I was just having a typical camping enjoyment for me. It's a shame that it had to end so abruptly, but holy cow. Man, y'all be careful if you're camping out there. Pay attention to the sounds and pay attention to what nature's telling you. Because I wouldn't have noticed had it not been for the absence of all the birds all of a sudden. I think maybe yesterday with the wind the way it was, the bees weren't venturing out very much, or I couldn't hear them. But man, it seemed like they were everywhere. And at first I tried to tell myself it was those little dart bees or dart wasps or whatever they are, those little dart flies that sort of hover about 5 or 6 feet off the ground and make a whole heck of a lot of noise for themselves, and then they bounce around, looking for sweat or droplets of water. No. No, this was like up in the trees, so I imagine there was a massive nest or a beehive or something like that somewhere. Hello, dear. How you doing? Those muley or whitetail? Whitetail. Huh. I'm blabbing away. Yeah. Maybe I know why now not so much wildlife hangs out over there. Why it was so eerily quiet last night. Strange. That was so damn strange. Oh, jackass.